Oh, good evening. I am dejected after being murdered in F3 by Isfod. Where is the track map? There it is. Alright, hello everyone. Good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Happy Halloween to everybody in the world. But, yes. We are here for round 2 in F2 in Spa. What kind of kerfuffles and activities will happen tonight? In the Ardennes Forest, some very famous corners here. Some very famous drivers on the grid this evening. I can't be arsed with this right now. I just can't. We will get this up on the server just so everyone knows. And I'm expecting to see the usuals join into the chat. No sign of Lex Hod just yet. He doesn't really appear often on Fridays anymore. Sparrow Malpa, you disappeared and didn't tell anybody, as far as I know. Naughty, naughty. Anyway, good evening all. If you're just joining in, we have a near full grid. Zuchol, go fuck yourself. 19 drivers, one driver missing. I think it's Ethan Stevenson's his name. He's also going to get spanked. As we see Edzak starting his lap. Yes, Suchal, I love you too. I'm not impressed with my title fight. As Edzak is going up the hill to Eau Rouge and then to Radion. Look at that little crowd on the left hand side. And down the Kemmel Straight he goes. With a few of the drivers on laps. Ricardo Chivrin, who had a fantastic debut to the season, winning the opening round. He was very, very impressive. Lugotze, Louis Marinin, or Louis Wrongson as Zuchol used to call him. Zuchol, we will never be teammates. Okay. I couldn't do it to Zhao. Lewis Marinin, who had a strong qualifying last weekend, but didn't know how to finish his dinner and apparently broke his wheel going into the pits or something. So the story goes, there was emails from Fanatec, there was lots of interesting things being said in the report chat. Good evening, Mr. Salguero. Congratulations on your maiden win in Ero in F3. I think everyone is happy that you won. Better you than Charlie. Is Matthew who goes fastest. Congratulations to Wrongson. He's actually beaten a driver. Aaron Stone, you are slow. Andrei Feschenko, good evening, sir. I hope you've had a nice week. Regan McKinnon goes P2. As speaking of Mr. Ricardo, he has gone on to provisional pole by just over a tenth of a second. Edzak into the solid 144s. Good time from him. Tugga! Let's go, my son. Let's go. Tug on that accelerator and just whip it out for me, son. Whip it out. I know Yeast is clipping all these as we speak. Mark Anderson in the pits. Bjorn in the pits. I'm sure he'll set a 175.3. Barry Kruger about to cross the line. Disappointing for Barry. As I say every single race, Barry Kruger is the fastest guy on this grid. Just doesn't maximize his potential. Remco Smeets, after an impressive P2 in F3, will look to capitalize on this run of form as he's about to cross the line. And he goes P9. Sam Kent sticking his car into P4. He's in the 142.7s along with Wrongson. Maritab Ali quietly going P2 in his V-carb. He sets a 142.6, 200ths off of Ricardo's time. Carl Whiteside is... Oh God, what is Carl Whiteside doing? As we wait for the two McLaren boyfriends to set a lap. I'm sure they'll be coaching each other through. Oh, David, lift off turn 3 a bit more. Oh, David, going up in Rouge, have a better line. You know, this is what Mark and David do in the McLarens. They do just hold each other's hand the whole time. Anyway, moving further down, where is my love? Here he is. Oh, that can't be real. As Yeast does start his first lap attempt. Matthew thinks he used too much battery. As he goes up the hill. That sounds terrifying in real life. You probably get like some amount of acceleration to it. But anyway, down the Kimmel Street, and Yeast sets a 30.5. That's respectable. In sector 1, you gotta be comfortable here going through those curves into turns 3 and 4. Now, round the long sweeping bend here, which is not Blanchimont, I can't remember the name of the corner, into No Name. Now on the run down to Puhan, which is a bit of a tricky corner in this game. You have to leave it in 7th, you have to do it flat out, but if you don't get the turn in right, you're knackered. And you invalidate or get a track limit warning if it's later on in the race. Everyone else is in the pits. Callum Clark is set at 143.1. So for all his whomping and crying about how he's not fast enough to be in this tier, he's bang sat in the middle of the pack. And Yeast setting a purple sector 2 apparently, if the game is to be believed. As there's 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I am dejected, man. I am depressed. Good evening, Jonathan. It's unfortunate you can't race tonight, but we are glad to have you along with us. As Yeast sets a 142.9. That's slow! Everyone's getting it tonight. Everyone's getting abused tonight. Guys, you've got Ronson in P3. Please pick up the pace. Maritam Ali in P2 and Ricardo in P1. I think David's after going P3 on an amazing first lap by him. 3:13, sorry. As he's now using as well. He's burning away, going up Eau Rouge. I don't think he's on a lap. I can't imagine he is. No, he can't. Well, he's improving on his time. He set a 30.5 there, so it's 5-6 tenths of a difference there. Lad in P6. Lad 6-6 in P6. As Ronson started like mouthing in some weird language in the chat. Word on the street. Alex Theodore is making a return. He's finally done enough favours for elderly men to get the money for a PS5. As Lad is letting... I think that is Yeast through. Is Yeast on another lap? He can't be. Oh, he's too far away. He's into the pits. Yes, word on the street. Alex Theodore returning imminently in the next 2 weeks, as Regan McKinnon is marginally not improving. He's going to be back with us pretty soon, causing his usual signature brand of terrorism. We will have a full-time seat ready and waiting for him, as the other Mercedes of Tugga is doing donuts around No Name. Interesting place to be doing it. So watch your F2, because that's about to be a bit of terrorism if Alex does come back. I can't remember where Tenessi's gone. I think he doesn't have a PS5 either, but yeah. Many cars out on the track here. Just 4 people in the pits, or is it 5? 5 people in the pits. Oh, it's just over 7 minutes to go in qualifying. After an impressive opening win, the rest of the chasing pack is obviously going to be a few points behind. But Sam Kent finished P2, Maritab finished P3, Yeast P4. I think any of those four could be winning a race each week. Then Callum Clark complaining again, what a surprise. Then Edgar Phillips and Aaron Stone, I think, are capable of podiums. That is definitely for sure. Rob Knable, who's missing his home Grand Prix tonight because it's Halloween, he wants to go dress up and play trick or treat, is definitely also capable of a podium. I think he got a win last season in China, the last race of the season. Then you got the likes of Jonathan and Regan, definitely capable of things. You need to see how they develop further along the season. I think either of them could actually win a race under the right circumstances. Barry Kruger, fastest man in the tier, just doesn't maximise it. Then Lewis Merrinan, I don't know with Lewis. He could win a race, then the next race he could finish P8, P20. You know, it's hard to say. Rongson's currently down to P6. We're just looking at off the standings. Ladian Dramoli, Brendan Gashi's Albanian brother from maybe the same mother, we don't know. Maybe that is Bashi. Can we get someone to confirm if that is Bashi? We'll see what he does. As speaking of Maritab, he goes P1 by half a second. Wow. This pace has come out of nowhere in the space of 4 weeks. Maritab couldn't get near Yeast towards the last few races of the season. Now he's dominating by half a second. What will Ricciardo do in response to that, as he is currently on a lap, 5 minutes to go in qualifying for the Romanian? If Ricciardo is still here by the time Alex Theodore comes back, there will be 2 Romanians in F2. And that's a terrifying thought. Yellow flags in Sector 2 is probably just drivers getting out of the way. What is it going to be for Ricciardo as he comes to the bus stop chicane? The bus stop isn't here anymore, but it's still got that name. It's going to be in the 142s here, I think. It is indeed. It's a 142.19. So, a good improvement for himself as well by 4/10. Maritab Ali still sitting pretty at the top of the pile. Sam Kent, what can he do now? He's on his next flying lap. Or maybe he's just finished it. So, a bunch of drivers coming into the pits. Rongson still... Oh, what's Rongson's doing? Aaron Stone is on a lap. Let's ride on board with him. The Wolf himself, Mr. Aston Martin. The Fernando Alonso of this tier. As he goes into Puhan, hits that pretty well consistently there. Into a tricky bunch of corners now. If you nail these, you gain so much time. You've got to be on that green part of the curb there. You just got to kiss that and then let the car drift out here. Now, penultimate braking zone on this track here. Into the run into Sector 3. Long straights here on Blanchimont. Is this going to be quick enough for the upper echelons of the starting grid for the Wolf? For Aaron. He's a good lad, Aaron. Well, there's your answer there. Into the pits. I think Sam is into the pits as well. Ricciardo is invalidated. He's also into the pits. And the only person out on the track is Mr. Bjorn Rasmussen, the angry Danish driver, as he's just kind of going for a luxury stroll around the Ardennes forest in Belgium, in Spa, de Francorchamps. A lot of racing happens here during the year. It's not just F1. You also got MotoGP here. You got the WEC. You got there's another touring car championship that happens around here. There's loads of stuff that happens in Spa throughout the year. They've also got a smaller track around the main track for karting championships and everything else like that. As Bjorn is 7 seconds away from his time. Luis, our F3 winner, is on his final outlap. He's going to have to race towards the line. So Maritab finding good pace here. Big train of cars here. So a lot of traffic out now. Now everybody is out on the track apart from Bjorn. 18 drivers out on the circuit at the moment, all looking for a bit of clean air. As we know, dirty air is so powerful here. Look at this now. You got 4 cars in the Camel Straight currently. And they're all just... Look who it is! Look who it is holding hands. Well, what a surprise. Yes, the receipts don't lie. The camera doesn't lie, boys. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. And it's going to be an Alpine. I think it's Lugo's. No, it's not Lugo's. It's the other Alpine of Yeast. He will be the one starting his flying lap. And behind him is Rongson. Is Rongson going to get a small bit of a toe up Eau Rouge here? That is the question. That is the question here. And he's marginally up from what we saw last time. It was a 30.5, it's a 30.4 now. Yellow flag in Sector 3. As he now is in the tricky downhill parts of Sector 2 into the dredge. You've gone so high up in Sector 1 now, you're going so down. Running down No Name on the run down to Puhan again. Car in 7th gear. He's put it into 8th. He's flicked it into 7th for a bit more traction, a bit more grip. Now, what are we going to do here? As quali is technically over, everyone's on a lap. Ajis goes wide. Well, that's going to be him done. I don't think we're going to see that much of an improvement, if any, for him. It's going to be middle of the pack for Macaulay. And Rongson behind in tow, who's not improving either by the looks of it. After them, I think it's Remco. No, it's Edzak. And then you've got a Mercedes behind them. So he's not having the best of Sector 2s there. What will happen here going through the bus stop? It'll be a 43.2, so no improvement. Matthew doesn't improve either. Edzak, he improves. He goes to P12. Next across the line is the Mercedes. It's not Tugga, it's the other one. It's Regan McKinnon. He goes P4. Ricardo has got a lot of traffic as there's a Ferrari going a mile off the track there. This is just dangerous. And who is in front of him? Aaron Stone. Well, Aaron doesn't have to get out of the way. He does now, though. Interesting. Has this ruined Ricardo's last flying lap as everyone's coming in now? As Tugga about to cross the line, where does he go? He goes P15. Rake of drivers coming in. We're not going to be able to catch all these, unfortunately. As Leon does go P2, being held up there has cost him. Sam Kent, as an Alpine has been spun around. Sam Kent will go P3. We're waiting on Lugo, who's the one who was spun around. So a bit of chaos here at the end of qualifying. Maritab Ali will keep P1 without setting a faster time. Aaron Stone, I don't know if it was a block or whatever, but he's cost Maritab, not Maritab, but Ricardo potentially P1. Sam also reporting that he was blocked, so a lot of chaos there. There's probably going to be a few reports already in F2. Nothing like a good report in the Friday night half 7 tier, is there? It's standard for you guys every Friday. That's why we love you. Anyway, run down on the grid. Maritab will start on pole. He'll be followed by Ricardo Chevron in the front row. Sam Kent and Regan McKinnon will be in the second row in third and fourth. Then Lad 66. Oh, look at him. In P5. Lugo's in P6. Matthew and Aaron Stone will be P7 and P8. Yeast and David Ann. Disappointing for the two of them. Barry Kruger, very disappointed. Then Carl, Mark, Callum, Remco, Edzak, Tugger Maballs, and Bjorn and Luis rounding out the rest of the grid. 22 laps of Spa is coming up. Let's see if the rain comes. We're just waiting for everyone to get their setups finalized. And then this chaotic start will happen. Right, 5 red lights gonna be underway now in F2, round 2. And we are WAN racing. Who gets the best start here? Maritab, a lot of wheel spin there. Is Ricardo going to be challenging him? Doesn't look like it. There's a lot of ghosting there. Who is this person ghosting? Lad is just driving through everybody. That's naughty. And that is reportable if it's caused any chaos. He's still being ghosted. Why are you driving through people? No, not good. Anyway, Sam Kent is up to P2. Ricardo's had a disastrous start. He's down to P4. As here comes Sam Kent. Nobody making a move here. But Lad 66 is... Well, he's kind of deserved that. He's trying to squeeze there at the end of the Kemmel straight after naughty driving through people. David Ann is up to P3 and he's battling Ricardo as the two of them having a bit of a wobble. Nobody dying though. Tugga has been tugged down to P18, P19 now. He's been tugged away. How the hell is David Ann in P3? Where, as Carl Whiteside is gone? And Mark and Bjorn have collided as well. Mark's lost a bit of front wing. A VSC's been deployed. I don't know what Bjorn was doing there, but it was just Bjorn things. I think Mark will be messaging me later on saying he's going to retire. And we move on. It's a full course safety car. It took F2 1 lap. Well done, my boys. Well done. Another F2 masterclass. So, Maritab keeps P1. Sam has made up a position. David has made up a load of positions. Let's have a look at this. David's up 7 positions. Very, very strong from him. Ricardo down 2. Lad has stayed where he is. Regan down 2. Aaron Stone is up 1. Luis is down 2. Matthew down 2. Is Regan into the pits. Barry Kruger up 1. Yeast down 3. He's also into the pits. Must have wing damage as well as Regan. And then bits and pieces for the rest. Overcast here, so there may be a threat of rain later on in the race. Now the interesting thing here is let's have a look at the tyres first of all. So everyone on the mediums apart from Callum and Remco from who started. So what do these new hard runners do? Because, well, they're going to be in a bit of a sticky situation now. Forced to go very far to the back of the grid. And Sam Kent in a good position. David Ann has had a great start to this race, it must be said. P3, good stuff from him. Guys, don't drive up each other's arse under safety car. It's just going to lead to collisions. As we are riding on board with Maritab, who's had a good start and everything else associated with it. So comfortable enough for him. Team principal of Williams, Mr. Sam Kent. In P2, he's having a solid start as well here. So as we said, the top 4 is comprised of 3 out of the usual 4 suspects. I don't think there's a lot to separate them. Yeast is down in P15 after an unfortunate start for him. Along with Mark, they both had wing damage, and Regan McKinnon as well, I'm assuming. It's freaking tell it's Friday. There's not a whole lot happening. Safety car is going around for at least one more lap. Right, are we underway yet? No, we're not. And Maritab slowing the crew down. As he begins to get us, he will get us underway. In just a jiffy, we're just waiting for him to go now. Not a whole lot to talk about at this point in the season under safety car, unfortunately. And he still hasn't gone yet. He's gone now after the bus stop. Has he caught Sam napping? He hasn't really. Oh, someone has a big wobble there. Was that Ricardo? Or was it Lad in the house? Well, we are back away in race, back underway racing as Tug has been tugged out of it. Well, Tug is gone again. Oh my god. And another safety car is among us. Jesus Christ, we had like 3 corners of racing before another safety car. So far we've had 4 laps, 2 safety cars. Oh my days. Right. Well, hopefully this one won't be as long, as this is I'm falling asleep here, guys. What are you doing to me? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Maritab must be thinking to himself, are we ever going to actually get racing here? David Ann is being a bit racy under safety car, though. He's sniffing Sam's gearbox as Andrei Feschenko wants an invite. Carl Whiteside says this is an awesome race. Well, I'm not actually disagreeing with you tonight, to be honest. This is pretty boring. That Barry Games fella, that's Ethan Stevenson. You're meant to be in the bloody lobby, you Wally. Anyway, as we are swiftly along, Andrei Feschenko has rejoined to steal this, the UDP or whatever it's called for the standings. As we're in Sector 3 at the moment of lap 422, somehow we are... We've only done 4 laps. It's been like 15 minutes. As Ladd has dived into the pits and Ronson has joined him. So interestingly, if the medium runners here, as Yeast also into the pits. What's Yeast doing? The medium runners driving. Somebody doing is diving into the pits, sticking on the hards, electing for a cheap stop, hoping there'll be no rain. Interesting strategy. It's a bit of a brave one as he sticks on the softs or something. Oh, I know what he's doing. He wants to maximize the life of his hard tires. And by whacking on a pair of softs, he will do that as they will not have another lap under safety car of them. So it's not looking like a very good evening for Ferrari at all. João Santos got P3 in F3, but well, I was taken out by a Haas driver. So Ferrari currently running P10 and P16 in this race. VCarb though, VCarb in P1 along with Williams. Williams are strong this season. They've got Anila in F1 who she has the chance of just winning every single race, to be honest. She's that quick. And let's have a look at the cross-tier constructors since there's literally nothing else to do here. Red Bull are leading with 48 points. Ricardo currently in P4. I can't even remember who races for Red Bull in F3. Well, they got P7. It was Dawid Zielinski today. But VCarb got P2 in F3 as well. So VCarb having a strong second round so far of this season. And the Mercedes also got the win, but they're nowhere to be really found here. As Regan is in P12 and Tugga is gone. Alpine quite solid. They were P4 and P6. Lucas is in P6 here, and the other Alpine is in dead last. So really all over the place at the moment. Has Maritab got a good? We got the safety car. Mason Piper, a long time no speak. Is F125 better than F124? Yes and no. The game is better in terms of gameplay. The handling is better. The issue is that everyone's kind of running the exact same setups now all the time. Everything is just very, very low downforce. But then again, I think setups kind of do naturally just converge in these games towards the mid to end game cycle or life cycle. So yeah, it is an improvement in my opinion. I'm enjoying racing on it more than I did on F124. We would love to have you back though. Would be a good idea. As Mark and Ladd are jousting under safety car, I think that's been sorted. But yeah, so cross-tier constructors is going to look very different after this race. It must be said. Wrong, get your ass in order here. How can you qualify P7 and go down to P16? But I like the early pit by the guys. They're gambling here. They've got nothing to lose. Yeast has tried to take a lap out of them, basically, by just pitting onto the softs for a lap. Just put them to the back of the pack, but it's no different. Be the top 8 all on the mediums. Callum Clark trying to kill poor Edzak. Callum Clark here will be he'll be P1 once everyone pits. So he will have his chance to make an impression in the clean air. That's what we'll see here. Everyone very close to the back of everybody else on the safety car. Look at this. Very, very close. As yes, indeed, the safety car is in this lap. And we'll see what Maritab does to get us underway in racing this time. Last time he went just after the bus stop chicane. Will he go earlier this time? Will he go later? As he is slowing down nice and early here. Will he catch Sam napping? He didn't really catch Sam napping the last time. They're kind of half off. But let's have a look and see what's gonna go down. And he hasn't went yet. Is it gonna be the exact same spot? It is. He's gone the exact same spot. And this time Sam is a bit more clued onto it. And we get away under racing again for this is only our second lap of actual racing. After 2 safety cars, as Regan and Remco fighting further down the field. You also see here, as the back 3 all coming together, nearly Bjorn nearly killing Matthew there. I think that would have been good to see, or good to hear. Yeast, now, he's also going to be fighting along here. He's going to try and go to the end of those hard laps, along with Matthew, along with Ladrin. Lugots and Aaron fighting at the top of the hill. No one dead from that just yet. This is a yellow flag apparently in Sector 3. I don't believe that. Now, Ricardo's dropped a bit away from the top 3. As David Ann fighting for a podium here, maybe more. As they're coming into Puhan now. Maritab Ali still leads the way. He's led the way in every lap of this race so far. As Bjorn is gone now. For fuck's sake. We haven't had a full lap of racing yet. We have not had a full lap of racing. As apparently Remco says the Mercedes barge should pass. Yeast is going to kill himself. As we've had 7 laps now, everyone pits. And the whole field is pitting here. Edzak's staying out because he's got big brain. Now, what happens? Oh, is Yeast pit again? Why are you pitting? So, 4 drivers haven't pit. Everybody else has. Callum Clark's come out on the softs because he is also of the big brain brigade. Yeast has come out on the inters. Well, that's just because he wants to burn or wants to save his tires. But as the adoring population of F2 are having the time of their lives here. I'm sure we'll have another safety car by lap 10. There hasn't been one full lap of racing yet. Andre has said to me, I heard you almost falling asleep on the stream. Well, we haven't had a full lap of racing, Andre, so like, what the fuck do you want from me? This is a slow burner tonight, as opposed to Australia last week, which was quite intense. Is that rain? No, it's not. It's just reflections. Okay. Well, Ed, Zach, and Mark are going to lead us underway. You got Remco. But see, this is the thing now. Matthew this is what we said. Matthew has put himself into P4. He is a net P1 actually, because the drivers in front of him haven't pit yet. Now, can he nurse those hard tires to the end? That's the question. And now that the grid is pit, they actually aren't in all that bad a condition. Matthew's tires can go to the end here. Normally, the medium pit window is lap 9. That is normally what the game would recommend. You can pit lap 8. But because we haven't actually had a full lap under safety car, his tires are going to be the equivalent of a lap 7 now, I'd say. Or a lap... When did he pit? Pit lap 5. I'd say they'll be fine. They'll be fine to the end. Especially because we're going to have at least one more lap of safety car. Starting on lap 10. Yeah, Matthew can go to the end. Good strategy by him. Callum goes into the pits again to change his softs. Yeast also changing his tires again. Extending his hards as best as he can. Matthew trying to burn some fuel off as well. Edzak with 3 extra laps of fuel. Mark with 3 extra laps of fuel. Remco with about a third of a lap extra. Ferrari Masterclass is right, Zhao. We've had 9 laps. Not one of them have been completed under racing conditions. Matthew's got 5 extra laps of fuel. Maritab with almost 2 3/4, what I can make out. Sam Ken with 5 laps of fuel. No, it's 3, sorry. David with 3 as well. Ricardo with 3. I have nothing to talk about at this point. Lugotsa with 4.9 extra laps of fuel. Aaron Stone with 2 something. 2.6 I think it was. Luis with 4 something. Barry with 2 something. Regan almost with 5. Wow. Lad with 2.5. Callum almost with just over 2, is it? And then Yeast with 1.8. So no need to save fuel in this race, boys. No need to save at all. So the top 4 that we spoke about, Andre saying it can rain, please God. There is the possibility of rain, according to Mr. Andrei Veschenko. Safety cars in this lap. We will get underway. It's 22% chance of rain. Okay. I'll keep rolling those dices. Just 1 drop is what we want. Edzak. I can't remember the last time Edzak's led a safety car restart. This will be interesting to see. And has he gone already? Edzak's gone. He's gone way before the bus stop. So the complete opposite of Maritab, going very, very early. And Remco almost going into the back of Mark Anderson there. As we finally get underway, we start lap 10 of 22. We've done nearly half the race under safety car. This has been absolute AIDS. Further down the field, we see a Williams of Sam and David coming very close, but no contact. Maybe there's a tiny bit there. Ricardo waiting in the wings. Lugots are waiting in the wings as well. Aaron Stone, Louis Saligeau, Barry Kruger, Regan McKinnon as Yeast and Callum fighting. The 2 GT7 rivals. At one point, as Callum's lost a front right end plate by the looks of it. And Mark Anderson's overtaken Edzak for the lead, but here comes Edzak. He's not giving this one up just yet. Well, he has now. Rongson sitting in P4 still, and net P1, and he's got Maritab Ali right on his case to keep him company. So Rongson's going to want Remco to kind of pull him along here to protect him from Maritab when the DRS gets activated. And then after, because overtaking is quite hard unless you've got DRS on this track, well, just in this game in general. So that's going to be quite interesting here. Regan and Ladrian are going to be very close to one another in just a second. As they go through Sector 2. The Haas very close to the back of the Scotsman. Following along quite nicely, actually. And Yeast has just dropped off the pace. It's just not been his evening so far. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. If it's another safety car, I'm turning the stream off. Nothing for now. Will we get a full lap of racing under our belts? It looks like we will. It looks like we will, as Mark Anderson sets the fastest lap of the race because he's done the first full lap of racing. At near half race distance, DRS enabled. Here we go. Again, the Haas and the Mercedes going side by side into La Source. Oh! I think that's been that was brewing for a while there. As Regan is back onto the track. I think that was brewing between those two for quite some time. Matthew now closing in on Remco with the DRS. Mark Anderson holding the lead currently. Bit of a sticky situation for himself now and Remco, where they're kind of past the medium pit window. And the hards are going to be much faster, number one. But number two, if they pit now, it's not going to be that much of an advantage to them. So Maritab in P5, he was our net leader. Now it's Rongson who's the net leader. And then Sam Kent in close pursuit of the Pakistani driver. With David Ann also roughly there and abouts. I never want to hear from David ever again that he's saying he's in the wrong tier. He's a chance to win here. And at a podium as well. Our championship leader, Ricardo, currently sitting in P8 with Lugotza in pursuit of him. Then Aaron Stone has dropped off the pace. He's going to be exposed to Barry Kruger behind, as we might see a move here by Matthew. Does he think anything of it? No. All Matthew has to do is just keep it on the track for now. Nothing too fancy, as Callum Clark gets a 3-second time penalty. David setting the fastest lap of the race now. And Maritab drifting ever so gently away from Rongson. As here comes Matthew. He's going to be gaining on Remco here. He's going to have DRS as Callum is gone. Now he's pulled the trigger a bit early. With a bit of luck here, Remco will defend against Maritab. Does he? Yes, he does, for Matthew's sake. And that's going to give Matthew a chance to get away here and catch up with these drivers ahead. So hopefully getting another helping of DRS. We're into lap 12 of 22. We are potentially talking about a Rongson win in F2. Ladd and Regan are fighting yet again. Well, Regan's ended up on the grass. We see some weird camera angle here. And Remco is going to have DRS if he keeps within. He's not just now. Matthew not really catching the drivers in front enough. As there's another yellow flag in Sector 2. It is for Regan. So Matthew not really catching here. Maritab's going to have DRS on Remco. The problem is he might even get the turn moved on before turn 1. Which is always a bad idea on this track. Now, here we go. And Remco just being protected. Is Matthew playing it smart? Nah. It's not possible, is it? Did he just give Remco DRS? It'd be great to see if he did. I'd be delighted to see that. And here comes Maritab Ali. As Regan is now retired from the session. Maritab is going to get the move done this time though. As Lad gets a 3-second time penalty. For track limits. Now David Ann is next up. As Remco goes a bit wide there onto the gravel. And David Ann will try and pick up the pieces here and capitalise on that mistake. Remco not giving it up. Remco banging wheels with David there. That was a bit Verstappen-esque, a bit Dutch. Sam Kent has made the position on David as a result of that, and he's up to P6 now. And here comes Sam Kent. Is he going to try two drivers in 2 corners? He is, and he's going to get it done. Lovely move by the Englishman. One of the more offensive people on the Ero, but he can't deny he's got some pace. Lugoats and Aaron Stone are having a chat side by side. I don't know what's going on there. As Aaron's up to P9. Ricardo dropping down. He's down to P8 now. And David Ann battling with the sweaty chicken, and that's what happens. Sam Kent up to P5, and he's free to find Maritab, who's going to have DRS on Matthew here. Matthew needs to get a move on. As Maritab's going to... We didn't have DRS? No. As Ladrian sets the fastest lap of the race in a 1:47.0. Lap 14 of 22. As Aaron Stone is gone, and that brings out another safety car. You guys are taking the piss here. No, it wasn't Aaron Stone. Was it Aaron Stone? It was Aaron Stone, but Remco's gone as well. What happened to Remco? Remco's just binned it. Or is he just retired? I don't know, you guys. This is special even by Ero standards. Like, anyway, I'm expecting Mark and Edzak both to pit here. Where is Yeast? He's in P10. Solid recovery. Now, if Yeast was clever, he would stick on a set of mediums. Because he has nothing to lose, really. He's got one position to lose by sticking on a set of mediums. Barry Kruger has no front wing. He's going to be pitting. Macaulay, if you are listening to me, pit. While I would not advise the softs, I would definitely advise the mediums. You could get away with a fresh set of softs. Let's see what Mark and Edgar both do. I'm expecting them both to come diving into the bits. Mark, yes. Edzak, yes. Matthew? What's going on here? Is Sam has massively slowed down for some reason. So quite the majority of the field is actually pit, apart from, well, the top 4. Edzak gambling on the softs. That's what we like to see. We're not in Vegas, but we're gambling like we are. So Matthew in a fresh set of mediums. David, I don't know what he's doing. Yeast on the mediums as well. Luis on the mediums. Barry Kruger as well. Interesting. So, Sam and Maritab and Ricardo all think that it's doable to go to the end. They can't pit now. They cannot pit now. Mark Anderson is on for a good result here, I think. I think he's on for a good result here. Matthew's going to have to fight through the field. I think the top four are going to drop like stones as we get to the end of this race. So it's going to be an interesting ending anyway, even if we only have like 3 laps of bloody racing, the whole race. Didn't have lap 1, we had from lap, what was it, 11 to 14, so we literally had 3 laps of racing. As we're going to try and find out from Aaron Stone what happened. As Alex Theodore is confirming he will be driving momentarily. As Regan McKinnon said he had rear wing damage. Remco just quit, so he raged. Are we back away in racing or what? Carl Whiteside's talking in the lobby for some reason. He's just yapping away, I don't know. As we're still not underway yet. Safety car will be in this lap. Safety car will be in this lap. Right, can we please just get through a few laps of racing? As Itzhak on the softs. I love it. I love it, honestly. And when has Maritab went? He has indeed. We get back underway and racing. I think it was the third. It was the third or fourth safety car. I think it was the fourth. So there's only one more left if there is one. As he does lead the way, Sam Kent in close pursuit along with Ricardo and Luis. Mark Anderson on those fresher tyres. Look how much more time he gains up the hill. That is insane. Is he going to make a move here? He's going to dive. Oh, that's a brave lunge there on Lugots. I think Lugots of the past they would have gotten a bit angry at that one, as you see David and Matthew finding further in the field. Matthew dropping positions like no tomorrow. Now Lugots dropping behind Edzak as well on those softs. Mark, that was a good dive. Fair play. Can't really fault that one. Solid racing as Sam Kent is staying close to the back of Maritab Ali. So these fresh pitters, David Yeast, Matthew, Lewis is a yellow flag. No, it's not. They really have to get a move on here, and they have to get past Lugots. Lugots is going to be holding them all up here. If they're not careful, it's going to lead to Nout. Further back up the field, Sam close to the back of Maritab. Ricardo is there. Edzak is making up places like there's no tomorrow here on those softs. He'll be cooking through them, but he'll be burning through them, but he's making up positions. Mark Anderson is right behind him and going into the bus stop chicane. These two, it's a terrible camera angle, are going to go side by side. There's a bit of contact, but no one dies yet. Here comes Lugo sticking his nose in it though. DRS enabled. Someone's going to die here. Someone is just going to die. It's a guarantee. The two Alpines go side by side now. And Yeast is up to P5. Wow. He's been at the back of the grid all race. And Macaulay Beard has arrived on the scene. The top three quivering, shaking in their boots as everybody behind them has fresh tyres. Sam and Ricardo fighting with DRS. Edzak arriving now on the scene on those softs. Yeast arriving on the scene. Mark as well. David and Lugots. Lugots drops more positions. And he's got his old buddy right behind him, Matthew. These two used to have some battles. It was great cinema. I think it was like season 12 or season 13 maybe. Lugots is not going to let Matthew behind or through cheaply. He's got a mile off the track there. Barry Kruger's having a disappointing race so far. Anyway, back up the front. Ricardo is holding up Sam Kent. And guess who's right behind Sam Kent? Is Mr. Overtake himself, is Edzak. And look at here he comes. Matthew has indeed. Oh, he hasn't finished the move just yet. These two are going to be racing to the bus stop. Lugots is going to have the inside line here. How much space? Well, here we go. Matthew not giving him a whole lot of space. Matthew just barging his way through, getting the move done. Eventually, the two of them are just as bad as each other. It's like when Lewis and Max come together. They just always have to hit each other. Yeast is up to P4. He's after overtaking Sam. Edzak as well, I beg your pardon, I missed that. Right, so from what's turned into a very boring first half of the race, first 2/3 of the race, we will have an exciting finale. As Edzak's probably got a lap or two left of pace in those softs. Mark Anderson now getting past Sam Kent as well. Staying out was just the wrong idea. Sam has a think about it, or was he just moving out of the way from David Ann? David's got a mile off the track there, just to be safe. So it is two of the big four in this tier. Three of the big four in this tier are in the top four currently. The only one is Sam, who's not. But your money's going to have to be on here. It's on Yeast or Mark, really. Edzak's softs are going to start dying. Can Yeast snatch a win here? This would be one of the more interesting wins we've seen in this tier. F2, which was last season's F3. If they manage to snag this, there'll be a lot of questions asked in the strategy departments for each team. And Ricardo is really holding up Edzak here. David Allen said he was in a terrorist sandwich. He really is. How have you got time to type that? And Edzak really wants to get this move done ASAP. Ricardo's really holding him up. Yeast, though, here he comes with a signature dive bomb. We missed that, trying to focus in. As Yeast goes a mile off the track there. Maritab sets the fastest lap of the race. And Yeast keeps the position, even though there was a bit of contact. There's more contact here as Yeast just sticking his nose into the last source. And this just helps the two guys up the front because now everyone's fighting behind. Edzak's cooked his tyres now as well. And he's going to be overtaken quite simply, even without the DRS. As David Ann is the latest to retire. Hello, Woj. How are you, sir? And Mark now sticking his nose in, but Edzak's not having any of it. Edzak's just defending against anybody and everybody that comes up against him. Yeast up to P3. So 3 of the big 4 in the top 3. Into Puhan we go now for lap 20 of 22. I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of reports after this race for some strange reason. And Maritab has just disappeared. He's just checked out. He's 3.5 seconds clear. And it's up to his old rival, I think, to catch up to him. But a lot of the damage was done here by Edzak. It must be said. At this point, it is just a straight fight. As now Mark is getting involved here. Edzak's tires must be screaming. They must be cooked at this point. As Sam Kent now also getting involved here. He's going to try and get P5. Matthew is also in a shout for P5. As the vultures begin to circle, no one making a move into turn 1 this time. Though if you're in Sam's position here, you don't want to be too optimistic. Yeast is going to have DRS here as we enter into the penultimate lap of the race. He's going to try and challenge for P2. And this was just chaotic here. He's gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. Not going to make the move this time. He's going to leave it till the last lap. He just has to stay with Ricardo now for the next few sectors, as Woj thinks Matthew is going to send it. Well, he will send it, just not yet. This is going to be a last lap dash. Expect lots of overtakes here on the final lap of this race. Andrei Feschenko, I hope you're paying attention because we're actually going to have a semi-exciting finale. Maritab Ali's won the race. I don't exactly know how. Or he should be sending Edzak a Christmas card. But whatever. We're here. It's okay. We ball. Now, Sam, very close to the back of Edzak as well. He's going to want him to get the move done in the last lap of the race. Edzak is going to try and keep to the position. Mark is going to think of something. Yeast is going to think of something here as well. So in a race that's had... The majority of the race has been under safety car. And no rain either. It's been... Well, it's been an experience. And here we go. One lap to win it all. This is it now. Here he comes. This is Yeast's last chance. He's a bit away, but he's gaining already. He's going to unleash that whole battery by the looks of it. Up the hill. The gated DRS in just a second now. And Mark is just a little bit too far away. Is he even going to have DRS? He is. But here we go. On the Camel Straight. Here comes Macaulay Beard. Into turn 3, I think it is, a turn 4. Ricardo goes a mile off the track here. He gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Wrongson also with a 3-second penalty. Yeast gets the position. Ricardo cedes it. I think that's in an attempt to maybe get the penalty removed. He's lost his front right end plate as well, interestingly enough. That's going to be a disaster for Ricardo if he keeps that penalty. There is an argument that he cedes it because of... Well, what is Mark doing? There is an argument that if he reports it might be withdrawn. 10 seconds, very harsh is what all the commenters are saying here. I agree. Mark Anderson's not going to be complaining, and he's going to cry if he loses P3 now. Matthew doing just Matthew things, it must be said. So Yeast is going to snatch P2. Maritabali is going to finish 5 seconds ahead because of all the chaos that happened behind him. From Edzak holding everybody up to Ricardo fighting with Yeast and everything else in between. But we're not done just yet. Is there going to be more drama here? As there sometimes is in the last few corners of Spa. Here's me thinking of Max Jr. Brzezinski. Yeast will somehow steal P2. I do not know how he's done that. That is one for the record books. 2 of the big 4 in the top 2. Sam Kent will finish P5. I think there will be some stewarding. I'll get the race director for whoever needs it. Let's round out your top 10 though. Maritabali in P1, Macaulay Beard in P2, Mark Anderson in P3. Nicely done. Edzak P4, he had a good race going on to the softs. He held everybody up, but that benefited him. Sam Kent in P5, Barry Kruger in P6. Good recovery from Barry. Lugot's in P7, Matthew in P8 after his 3 seconds. He says he's going to get that removed. That would bring him roughly up to P6. Ladrian in P9 after some apparent terrorism that might be investigated. Ricardo in P10 after that 10 seconds. Expect that to be removed and he can go up to P3. Lewis P11, David P12. David did not finish and the rest just decided to kind of get involved with the crack of it. Getting the race director now while we can. Not that many incidents actually. Well, of course there wasn't that many incidents because the half the race was under fucking safety car. Anyway, F1 Live tomorrow evening at 6:30. The title fight is well and thoroughly on in F2. Any of the big 4 could really do it this season. It's great to see competitive racing here. Enjoy the rest of your Halloween. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Peace out. See you all later.